Penn State football is currently 0-3. This is the worst start in 19 years for the program, and a lot of fans and people around the college football world are wondering where this team could even possibly head next. The hottest topic in college football this weekend will likely be about James Franklin, and if he should keep his job at Penn State. Today I want to quickly talk about what is going on for Penn State and what I think about the issue. There was a lot of hype going into this year for Penn State as they actually started out ranked in the top 10. Sean Clifford was back at quarterback. They had an All-American tight end in Pat Freiermuth, had one of the best linebackers in the country in Micah Parsons, and had plenty of talented running backs, and one of which was probably going to step up. But as we all know, Sean Clifford does not look good. Micah Parsons opted out due to the NFL. Pat Freiermuth has been the best player on the team so far, and many thought they'd go out and beat Indiana. Indiana's a program on the rise, and they kept that game close and forced a lot of Penn State turnovers. Penn State would come back though, and after a late touchdown, it looked like they were going to win. But then the unthinkable happened. Penn State running back Noah Cain ran the ball in for a touchdown when they were only up 1, and now it was still a one-possession game after the extra point. This was the first warning sign for me because James Franklin said they had discussed that scenario in practice. There's no way that a player should ever run into the end zone like that, and that showed a clear miscommunication between him and Cain. But it probably wasn't going to bite him. Well, it did. Michael Penix led him down the field, scored a touchdown, and then got a 2-point conversion to force overtime. All in overtime, Sean Clifford made a big pass on 3rd down, and Penn State went up 7. But Indiana would go down the field, score, and then attempt a 2-point conversion. Whether you think it counted or not, Michael Penix Jr. got that 2-point conversion, and it went down as a win for Indiana. Okay, an Indiana win is not that bad as they are a program on the rise and they were ranked after the week, so they'd have a chance to bounce back the next week against Ohio State. This game wasn't much better for the Nittany Lions, and Ohio State controlled the game from start to finish, and it never really was much of a good game. But I mean, that's Ohio State, so you can accept that one. Well, going into their 3rd game, they're going to play their rival Maryland. They have outscored the Terrapins 163-6 over the past 3 meetings, and only lost to them twice in the last 40 years. Well, tonight that changed as Maryland got up to an early 14-point lead and controlled the game from start to finish. Talia Tagovailoa completed 18 of 26 passes for 282 yards and 3 touchdowns. Freshman star Raheem Jarrett got 5 passes for 144 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Dante Demas caught a touchdown, and Jake Funk added 80 rushing yards in the score for Maryland, and they completely dominated the entire game. This is the worst performance by a James Franklin coached team since he arrived in Happy Valley in 2014. This was absolutely embarrassing, and the fan base is currently calling for his head, which I honestly think is pretty justifiable. He's now dropped his last 3 games to Ohio State. Penn State did not look that good last year, and so far they're 0-3 in 2020. You can use the whole Micah Parsons injury COVID excuse, but every other team in the country is going through that right now, and Maryland has been a pretty bad program over the last few years, and they just dominated you start to finish. It's time to really consider if James Franklin is the guy anymore for Penn State, and unless he can somehow turn this season around and finish 5-3, I honestly think it may be time to kick him out. Their last 5 games include a road game against Nebraska, which they should win. They have a game against an Iowa who has looked mediocre to start the year, but had a really big game today against Michigan State. Then they have a road game against Michigan, who looks absolutely horrible right now. A tougher than expected game against Rutgers. Then they also have a really bad Michigan State team to close out the year. Besides Michigan and Iowa, those other 3 games should be must-wins for them, and there's no reason they should lose those. I can honestly expect that the Lions will rally the troops and get to 4-4 this season, but for Franklin to feel even somewhat safe, he needs to get this team to 5-3, but I honestly don't know. I just wanted to quickly talk about Penn State football, but I really want to hear what the Penn State fans think. So if you're a fan of Penn State, let me know what you think. Should James Franklin be fired? What do you think of this team? And feel free to rant about the season down in the comment section. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe if you like college football. Give the video a like so more people can see it, and check out all my other videos. Hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.